What's up, everybody? It's your girl Glenda, and you are watching another episode of Whatcha Cookin Glenda. If you would like to be part of the G Squad, all you have to do is click that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video. Hey, let me go on and remind you now, click the like button, you guys, and make sure that you share this video. Help your girl's channel out. It helps out our content and pushes us a long way. So let's get into this video. What we have for you today is buttered pecan sweet potato pie. Now, I cannot take ownership of this recipe because it's not mine. I got this recipe from Misha's Corner. I fixed this last year. I did not video it, but I fixed it last year, and it did not last at my family's Thanksgiving celebration at all. The first dessert to leave, I'm telling you. So if you're not trying this, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm gonna need you to try this buttered pecan sweet potato pie. Now, I have probably 5 sweet potatoes in here, 5 or 6 that have been cut up and washed and cooked to death. You definitely want them to be nice and tender. You see that? You want it to be cooked all the way. And I done made them. Let me get my little paper towel. You want it to be cooked all the way, not just fork tender like you would for mashed potatoes. You want an extra bit of tenderness on here. Okay? So what you're gonna use, you're gonna need your 9-inch pie shell. If you want to make it, you can make it. If not, do like I did and go by the store and pick up some Pillsbury Doughboy deep dish pie crust. You're gonna need eggs. You're gonna need some kosher salt. You're gonna need some cinnamon, vanilla. You're going to need some pumpkin spice. I know it sounds weird, but trust the process. Trust the process. Some pumpkin spice. You're gonna definitely need some ginger, ground ginger. And one thing that I'm doing, because I always add a twist, and I did it last year, is I'm adding some nutmeg into it because I feel like sweet potatoes have to have a little bit of nutmeg. And then you're also gonna need some canned milk. You can use carnation, just whatever, evaporated milk. You'll also need some white and brown sugar. I have a cup of white sugar because I am doubling up this recipe. And as far as the brown sugar, I think her recipe calls for half a cup, so I'm also gonna do a cup of that, as well as some melted butter. Do not use margarine, use butter. All right, let's get started on this recipe. These have been cooked, drained, and cooled as much as possible. I do want them to cool a little bit more, especially before you add your egg, and so that you can taste it. So we're gonna go in with our mixer. If you have a stand mixer, use a stand mixer. But what you want to do is create a nice, creamy, velvety filling. So we're just gonna scrape our sides down like so. And I'm gonna go in with my melted butter, using all of that. And I'm gonna go in with my spices, which are gonna be some cinnamon. She says 2 teaspoons. Doubling the recipe, so I'm gonna do 1 more, and then I'm gonna taste it to see how much more I'm gonna possibly need. You can always add, but you can't take away. Then you're gonna go in with some ginger. She says a teaspoon, so I'm just gonna eyeball it. Ground ginger. And you gotta get your pumpkin spice in there. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. Eyeball that. And then I'm also going to add a couple of shakes of some nutmeg. And then we're going to give this another mix, just to mix everything in. You'll see that I'm kind of mixing as I go. I'm going to go in with my sugar. It's a cup of sugar. And I'm going to go in with half a cup of brown sugar. A little bit more for good measure. Once again, I'm going to add as I see fit. Can't forget our vanilla. Couple teaspoons of vanilla and our canned milk. You just need a cup of canned milk. That's about a cup right there. So I'm gonna do about a cup and a half to start. So we came back because we need to put the eggs in. The recipe for 1 pie calls for 3 eggs. Clearly, I've got enough for at least 2 to 3 pies here. So I'm going in with the 3 eggs first. And then I may just let me just add a couple of more. So, this is what you want your filling to look like. If you have a stand mixer, you definitely are going to get a better result. Not like so many like little lumps, but I guarantee you, this is still really, really good. Right here, you want to make sure it's pourable. We will be right back when it's, we're gonna put it into the 9-inch pan. So we are back and we have our frozen pie shells here, the Pillsbury Doughboy pie shells that I showed you earlier. We've got our mix over here, our filling that we are going to go ahead and just pour into our pie shell. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to fill it all the way, because we are going to be adding a topping to this. So that is one. I'm just going to spread it as evenly as possible. gonna go in your preheated oven, preheated at 350 degrees for only 30 minutes. That's gonna be enough time for them to be nice and firm, and then you're gonna add your topping that we're gonna make. And then you're gonna put it back in the oven. Same thing, I'm just gonna spread this out. See how nice and velvety that looks? That looks so delicious. So delicious. Ooh, that's gonna be the bomb. That's gonna be bomb. One of these pies is going to my sis, Simply Being Sabrina. If you are not subscribed to her channel, you better go check her out. She's got Simply Being Sabrina and Lazy Cooking with Sabrina. Go check her out. Also check out Nisha's Corner for a full recipe. We're gonna put these in the oven, 350 degrees for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back. I'll be right back to make the topping. Alright, so we are back. In this food processor, mixer, ninja, whatever you want to call it, I have, well, the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of vanilla wafers. Vanilla wafers. Do not use the off bread if you can help it. There's a difference in the taste. Just trust the process. And so this is a 2-cup measure because you know I have a couple of them. So I'm gonna pulse this just a little bit, and then you're gonna add some super cold butter. Again, the recipe calls for 4 tablespoons. I'm doing the whole stick because I have more pies. If you're definitely gonna end up with some left over, freeze it, use it for next time. And you're gonna add some cinnamon and regular sugar to this. All right, and I'm gonna go in and just add in my butter.
That's scared you started. If it scared you, comment below and like the video.
Do that anyway. Add a little bit of cinnamon, which it calls for 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I'm gonna add a couple teaspoons of cinnamon, and it asks for 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar. So I will measure that out. You want to make sure that your butter is straight up out the freezer, you guys, for sure. And what you want to end up with when I get the top on here is a nice sandy crumble. We'll be right back. So we're back, and here is the finished topping. There is sugar, butter, cinnamon, vanilla wafers, and it calls for 1/2 cup of pecans. I have some chopped pecans that I got from Sam's. If you have some regular pecans you just want to chop up, that's fine. Please do so. Chop them up, or if you have some already pecan pieces like so, just mix them in. You get everything mixed up. This is the last thing that you're just gonna mix up, and I've just been kind of moving it around with my hand lightly, you know, because, and then I'm going to place this in the, I think I'm gonna place this in the freezer just until, let's see, just until my pies are ready to come out of the oven after the 30-minute mark, which is, we're almost there. And I just want to make sure that this butter stays cold. So we will be right back when it's time to top off our pies. So we are back. Our pies have been in the oven for a good 30 minutes, all right? They're nice and firm, as you can see, or firmed up. They're not all the way done. You're not all the way complete with this recipe either. So what we're gonna do is put our crumble that we made earlier. We're just gonna put that generously, or however much you want, over topping onto your sweet potato pie. This is where that buttered pecan comes in at, because you got butter, you got pecans, you've got cinnamon, some sugar, and vanilla wafers. And I'm just kind of being extra because I want it to be. Pie is not completely done. Once this is done, you're gonna, after the next 30 minutes, you're going to take it out. Today is Tuesday, right? So it's 2 days before Thanksgiving, before I actually start like my other cooking. I'm just trying to get the desserts out the way. So this pie is actually gonna sit for 2 days without being sliced. But generally, let it set overnight before you slice it so that it sets in and all the ingredients melds just perfectly. And I promise you, you're gonna be commenting below about this pie, because it's the bomb. It is the bomb. We're going back in the oven, and we're gonna put this to the side and let it set for a couple days, because we're not cutting into it until Thanksgiving. Today's menu for our dessert, we're gonna have the regular classic pecan pie. Okay, so what you will need for this recipe is about 1 1/4 cups of chopped pecans. You need 4 large eggs that are at room temperature. You're gonna need a cup of light corn syrup, and what I chose to use is this Karo syrup. You can, any brand is fine. A 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, which I'm probably gonna add a little bit more because 1/2 cup is not as sweet. You're going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of salted melted butter. You're also going to use some vanilla, about a tablespoon, and then you're going to need a 9-inch deep dish pie crust. This is the one that I got from the store, so you're welcome to just grab one from the store, or you can make your own. All right, let's get started on this recipe. You're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And so in this bowl, we're going to mix in our eggs. That was 4 large room temperature eggs. Eggs have been sitting out. Oh, and tell me what desserts you guys are making for Thanksgiving during this 2020 quarantine. During this 2020 quarantine. What kind of desserts are you guys making? That's 3. And this is my last one. Right here. Okay, so the next. All right, so we've got our 4 large eggs in the bowl. You're gonna mix these eggs up. You wanna whisk them until they are one color. See that? You don't really see any whites or anything like that. So that's what you wanna do there. And once you have done that, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna add your sugar, you're gonna add your corn syrup, your melted butter, and your nutmeg. So we said a half a cup of sugar, which I think I'm gonna go in with 1 full cup of sugar, or at least close to it. Here's my 1 cup measure right here. That. Okay, because you know your corn syrup is also sweet, so you want to make sure that you don't go overboard. Everything is going to be dependent upon you and how sweet you like your pecan pie. All right, so let's go in with our melted and we're going to do probably about a cup, 1 cup of corn syrup. So I'm gonna use my same container here. We're gonna measure out 1 cup of our light Karo corn syrup. Make sure I get all of that in there. All right, so now we're just going to mix this and until your ingredients are well incorporated. I'm gonna mix a little bit here just to kind of break it up, but then I'm going to go in real quick with my mixer. Get my mixer together. Mix well. Okay, that is nice and incorporated in there. This is going to be the easiest pecan pie you will ever make. The easiest. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to come in with our pie shell. Just pull it right on out of here. This is my last pie shell from some pies that I made earlier today, which you will see the video on. Make sure that you check that out, the butter pecan sweet potato pies. Just put this right over here. Sometimes you get your pie shells and they have like little cracks in them and stuff like that. All you have to do is just mend it back together, because this is just dough. That's it. All right, so we're gonna take our filling, I'm gonna put it over here, and we're gonna take our chopped pecans. I picked these up at Sam's. And we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 to 50 minutes, okay, until it is nice and done. And then you're going to remove it and let it cool completely before you serve it. Okay, so when we get back, I'm going to show you what our pecan pie looks like. We'll see you in a bit. Y'all make sure y'all try this.
Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join the G Squad. This is the best channel on YouTube. Make sure you try these recipes and you post them on our social media sites so we can put them in our next video. Make sure you stay safe. Have a nice Thanksgiving. Stay sanctified, and we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.